Welcome to Block 6 in our Block of the Month program. I can't believe we're already halfway there. I've had a few of you say to me, oh, I'm behind, I'm still on Block 3. So Block 5 was four patches, so that one will go really quickly for you. And then Block 6 is flying geese, and there's quite a few of them, but flying geese can go pretty good too if you get a little assembly line going. So, and then I think it's 8 is 4 patches again. So you will have time to kind of catch up and be where the rest of the group is for when we get ready to start putting it all together. I kind of like a quilt where you do a part and put it together and do a part and put it together. This one isn't that way, so it's making me feel anxious that it's going to be okay, but I'm sure it is. It's a gorgeous pattern. Also, I am not a fan of flying geese. I don't know why. I can never get those little guys totally straight, totally rectangles. So I drew a paper piecing pattern that I used. And first of all, I'm going to teach the way they set in the pattern, because those of you that can do flying geese, it's simple enough. I don't know why mine don't turn out. They just don't. And then afterwards, I'll teach the paper piecing. And I will include a sheet when I email it to all you guys if you decide you want to do paper piecing. So this month, there are 2 components. I'll step over here. There are 5 double flying geese blocks that go in the quilt top. There are 3 of the A's, 6 A's, and there are 2 of the 6 B's. Okay? So you're making 2 flying geese for each set. So there are 5 sets for the quilt top. Then the second ones you're going to be making are blocks for the border. And these, as you'll see when you get your instructions on the last page, it tells you how to hook them all together. So you're going to make 20 2-block sets. You're going to make 20 of these. And a set of 2 strips that you're going to have for 2 different colorways. So these are going to go on your border opposite each other on the top and the bottom of your border when we get to putting our border on. So what you do is you start out with a rectangle that is 3.5 by 6.5 of the color that your sheet says is your background triangle. I think this is color number 11. I think this is my 11. And then you're going to also cut 2 3.5-inch squares. So on this side, I've sewn my 3.5-inch square on, trimmed it to 1/4 inch, opened it up and pressed it, and it made one side of my flying geese block. I told you, see how much I'm off up here? Don't know how I do that when I have the correct measurements. So this is the second 3.5-inch block that I placed here. Again, I've drawn a line diagonally in the middle of the block and sewn on it very accurately. And when I trim it and open it up, I get a 3.5 by 6.5-inch block again. I don't know how these get off on me, but they do. So the thing when you're putting these blocks together that I would warn you about is note your block direction. So this block, when it's done, is going to end up down here. So you can see, if I would have sewn this on here, I would have been ripping it out to put it back down here. So double check on the sheet that tells you. So this is my border block C set, my border block D set, and my border block E set. And when you look at the instruction sheet, that'll be very clear. The instructions are actually very good. So that's how you do it if you're doing it the way the instructions tell you to do it. So, paper piecing, I don't know if you're a fan or not. It works out for me. I love it. So, you do basically the same thing where you take your middle triangle, put it, at least I did a 7 by 4 inch piece, I believe, and then I did my 1/4 inch, open it back up, sew on the line, do the same thing on the other side. I did my 1/4 inch, open it up, sew on the line, and I got a block that's not wonky. Yay! So I will include this that I drew up in there. And then you sew them together, and it ends up looking like your 2 blocks like that. I remove the paper piecing paper before I press my seam open. It makes it lay flatter. So that's just another option if you find you make wonky flying geese like I do. So when you're doing the 5 double blocks, you're going to need 3 of the unit 6A and 2 of the unit 6B. For these, you make 2 sets of each one because they're going on different corner places. So to make one of these, you need a 3.5 by 6.5 inch and 2 3.5 inch squares. Pretty simple. You're going to get some practice with flying geese. Again, any questions, call the store. If you want a little tutorial on paper piecing, drop in. I love it. That's why I make a pattern when I want to be accurate. My pieces go together better. This is going to be okay because I'll sew towards the point instead of an accurate 1/4 inch right here because that's not going to work. So that's block 6, and I hope you enjoy it. And we're moving on, and we're going to have this thing done and have them ready for next year's quilt shows. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.